Hello, my name is Ileane. I'm with IleaneSmith.com, and welcome to this broadcast. I want to share with you some Snapchat tips, and I like to call these tips, it's a little series I put together called Snapchat for Seniors. Now, mostly we're going to be looking at how to use Snapchat from iPhone, and couple of the tips that I'm going to share are iPhone specific, but there's also going to be a few others that you can use no matter what device you have. So let's start off right away with one of those tips. So I have to put my glasses on for this. And I also would like to set up a screen share for my friends over on Blab. So the first tip I have is a lot of times I'm doing Snapchat stories, and stories are really important on Snapchat because you only have a 10-second clip for a video. Okay. And you could do a lot of things with that 10-second clip, but a lot of times what is really effective on Snapchat is to string 10-second clips together as a story. And Snapchat realized this and added the stories feature months ago. And I'd like to say hi, David. And hopefully if you have any questions, David, you can come on, and we'd like to also invite you on to the screen. So I just invited David in. So my very first tip, well, first I have to tell you one of the stories that I get a lot of engagement on is when I'm at the gym. I know I need to be there a lot more often. I know, I understand. So what I like to do when I'm at the gym is I'll do some of the exercises instead of just, it looks like David's on mobile, so I don't think he's going to be able to join. So anyway, and that's I am David Vaughn, and he's here on Huzza as well if you wanted to also follow him. Okay, so what I like to do is, especially if I am doing my hula hoop. I have a weighted hula hoop. It's an adult size hula hoop, not the one that you use when you were a kid. So it does have a little weight in there. It's supposed to work your abs. And one day I will find my abs, I promise you. But anyway, a lot of people get a kick out of me doing my hula hoop. So how do I do a hula hoop and Snapchat at the same time? Well, here's the tip, guys. You buy this little remote control. And I get mine from Amazon. I get all my gear from Amazon. In fact, you can go over to my shop tab here on Huzza and you can see some of the gear that I have on my gear page over at IleaneSmith.com/gear. And this little remote only costs about $7, including shipping and handling. And you can start up everything, have everything all set up with your camera in position and so forth. And then when it's time for you to do your snap, you just, and hi, Evo, thank you so much for joining. He enjoys the Huzza interface. He thinks it's sexy, or either that or he's calling me sexy. So I think you're sexy too, Evo. Thank you. So anyway, you just use the remote control. And he says he gets that a lot. Oh, boy, I tell you, it's good to have fun people in the chat area here. Oh, send me a selfie with your sexy self. And that's one of the features of Huzza. Really quickly, guys, there's a selfie tab at the bottom. And all you do before you push that selfie button, get ready to do or wave or whatever you want to do. And then it takes a selfie. And Catherine just sent me a selfie. Thank you, Catherine. I didn't even know you were there. Great, great, great to see you. Hi, Lee, you just took this. Is cool. Yes. Thank you, Catherine. Appreciate that. So with the remote control, because what you typically have to do when you're doing a Snapchat, you have to hold down with an Evo. Yes, sexy Evo. And normally what you have to do is press on the screen in order to record your video. But with this remote control, you just do that. And then that way you can, and people will say, how'd you do that? Because usually there's always, you can't be hands-free. But with this remote control, it allows you to be hands-free on Snapchat. And that's my first tip. And that goes for iOS and for Android. You just connect it through the Bluetooth. Here's the iOS button and here's the Android button. And so these little things only cost about $5, but with shipping and all that, by the time you get it, it's about $7 or $8. So it's well worth it because you don't just use it for Snapchat. You can use it when you're taking family photos or whatever to, just start up your camera. So it's a neat thing to have. And I mean, it's a small investment. Okay. So go to ileanesmith.com/gear to see some of my other gear tips. Let's see. We have some more comments coming in. What exactly is Snapchat, and is it up forever or just a little time? Okay. Great question, Catherine. Snapchat is a social network and your snaps will last for 24 hours. So you try to make a story every day. That way, when people come back to your account, they'll see that you have snapped in the last 24 hours. However, you can repurpose those snaps by downloading your snaps to your phone, and then you can upload them to YouTube. You can share them on Instagram. You can share them on Twitter. It all just depends upon you trimming that video down so that it accommodates the profile or the platform that you're sharing it to. In other words, Instagram has a limit of, I think it's a minute now, or maybe 30 seconds is a good time on Twitter. So then you would just make sure that that video clip that you've downloaded from your stories, because remember on Snapchat, it's a 10-second video, but you can string them together when you download the file. And so a lot of people do that, and people even put them up on YouTube that way. So I'm going to show you Snapchat interface because I know y'all can't wait to see it. So hang on. I'm going to do a screen share, but I got to make sure I got everything set up properly first. Okay, guys? So bear with me. I think I do. Looks like I do. Share my screen because sometimes tip, guys, is only for folks that I don't know which screen to look at. Here's my phone. I have my phone on my tripod. You go over on my gear page, you'll see this tripod only costs about $12. So, but in this snap tip, Snapchat for seniors, I want to show you how you can use another app that's called Gboard. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this particular app is only good for iPhone, okay? You download this app called Gboard. And the reason why I want you to do this is because you're going to amaze your friends with what you can do in the private chats. Because instead of just adding things to your story, you're also going to see that there's a private chat area, and you'll see this little button at the lower left-hand side. And that is where you can send private chats to people. So if you notice, the keyboard at the bottom of my iPhone screen looks a little different. There's a G there. That's because I have that Gboard extension installed. And since David's here, I'm going to see if I can find him over on Snapchat. There he is. Okay. And I'm going to send him a GIF. Now, this is what's going to be really exciting, because most of the time people just send a chat and just say hi. Okay. But what I'm going to do, and this is a real great way to get engagement with someone who's commented on one of your snaps, or if they've sent you a private snap and you want to just respond, you can respond with a GIF. So how you do that is you tap on that G, and that brings up a search. So I like to use a GIF of somebody who's really famous and really beautiful. And I used to like to use Beyonce. Okay. But I'm not going to send her. This is the search at the very bottom of the screen. You see the hourglass, which is like the search. Then you see the one that represents an image. We're not going to send him an image, but we're going to send him a GIF. So okay, so there's one of Beyonce just shaking it now. Make sure the one you tap on next is the one you want to send, because all you have to do is tap it and then you can paste it. So I'm going to send this to David. So see how I tap? Now it says copy, tap above. So all I have to do is tap and that automatically sends it. And hit paste. So there you go. So now David's going to say, hey, how'd you do that? Of course, he's not going to say that because he's right here watching right now. So guys, with that, I didn't want to do a full Snapchat tutorial because I've actually done one already, and you can find it on my YouTube channel. And it's kind of like Periscope. Yes. And on my YouTube channel, you'll see I already have part 1 of this series, and that's a Snapchat for seniors. And that's really the introduction. So today I went into a little bit more advanced tips, and I hope you enjoyed these tips. I will be back. If you have questions, use the Q&A and leave your questions over there. And then that way I can address any of the questions that you have about Snapchat in the next video, which might just happen later today. And so with that, guys, I'm going to stop streaming here. I'm going to head back over to Blab. You can find me at blab.im/Ileane, and you'll see that I have a Blab set up with a similar title. And I will talk to you soon. Snap me back, David, and anybody else who's on Snapchat. Oh, and one more thing. To follow me on Snapchat, you're going to use Ileane Smith. That's ILEANE Smith. Look for me over on Snapchat. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.